Hi, welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Dr. Donald Pelto, and I have my guest today, Joanna Anderson from Tri-State Running. Thank you, Joanna, for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, we're going to talk a little bit about running, kind of how you got interested in this group that you're part of, Tri-State Running. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you kind of got interested in running.
All right. So I am an avid runner now. Just did my first 100-miler. That's something I thought I would never do. But it all started because we created this group. I, was living an unhealthy lifestyle for a while, and someone said, hey, do you want to run this race? And I'm like, sure, I'm ready to start running again. And I ran a race, and then I was looking for people to run with, and we started the group in the Webster-Thompson area, just a way to connect and find people to run with. I didn't want to run alone. I mean, Thompson is a quieter town too. It's a lot of back roads, and you get nervous as a female out there running by yourself. So, so I connected on CMS, on Central Mass Striders website, to say, hey, anybody in my area want to run? And I met up with this guy, Jose Rivera, and we started running together, and then we made a group, and we actually had an article done on us in the Villager newspapers, so that whole area kind of got informed about this new running group in that area. So it was just much easier to connect than to go all the way to Worcester for me, having young kids.
So Central Mass Striders is a running group in Worcester?
Correct.
And Tri-State Running is a running group?
Kind of more south of Worcester, kind of Oxford. We have a couple Auburn people that will post runs, but Oxford, Webster, mostly that area, Oxford, Webster, and Dudley.
Okay, so how does it work in terms of, how long has it been around?
So we are at our 5-year mark. So Jose and I started it and just got it going, and then we started doing a pub run, and it just took off from there.
So let's define some of these things. So you told me there's how many people that are kind of?
Yeah, we have about, I think, 700 people right now. We probably have a good 200 people that are active in various forums.
And if people are listening to this and they want to learn more, they would go to your Facebook page, right?
Yep, Tri-State Running on Facebook.
Okay, and then then you guys post. Let's talk about different types of runs you have. So a pub run. So
every Tuesday night we have a pub run. We meet at Cinny's in Dudley, and we have a 3-mile option or a 5-mile option. Our motto has always been "No one's left behind." So it covers everyone. The pub run is much more casual, it's fun. So before we even leave the parking lot, we make sure we know who's running the 3, who's running the 5, anybody new, what's your pace, is everybody have a buddy, per se. Because they want to come there, they want to run with other people. Nobody wants to go out and run alone. So so we kind of get everybody going, and then we hang around and usually have a beer or at the pub afterwards, and socialize. And that's where all the trouble starts, because that's where everybody starts talking, saying, "Hey, do this race, do this marathon, do this," And you find out what everybody's doing and the next big thing and what they're going to train for, and it's really pushed a lot of people beyond their limits. In this group, I've heard so many stories of people coming to myself or Jose saying, without this group, I would never have done this. I would never have made this pace. I would never have done this race from a 5K to 100 milers, to mountain races, to, all these connections that people have made. Some of my best friends are
runners
made from this group.
And so you push each other to kind of do more than you think you could have done before. So how did you start? You said you were in cross country in high school.
I was in cross country in high school, but gymnastics was my first love. Cross country was kind of secondary. But then after high school, all that stuff kind of lets go, and I was living kind of an unhealthy lifestyle. I was smoking, and I ended up getting divorced, and I quit smoking, and I'm like, it's time to get healthy, and I wanted my life back. And I started running, and then I got sucked into the race world. And let's do a race.
So like 5Ks or like half marathons? Or
so the very first race was actually a relay race. It's called the Ragnar Relay. So it's a 12-person team, and each person gets 3 different legs of various distances. So that kind of brought me into a whole nother world that I never knew existed. I thought it was the coolest thing that out there, because you're stuck in a van with 6 people for about 30 hours. Wow. And it's very challenging. Just trying to, manage the sleep and who's driving and who's running and taking breaks. And fun. So, and since then I've done an ultra team with people from my group, and that was even a more amazing
so what's
experience.
Ultra for people
so
watching?
The ultra one is you only do 6 people.
Okay.
Do the whole, it's about 200 miles with 6 people, so you're doing 6 legs. So we did it back to back, so it would be the runner 1 would do the first 2 legs, runner 2 would do the next 2 legs. So it kept it going. So we still only ran 3 times, but our mileage was doubled.
Yeah.
Everybody did more than a marathon over the course of the 30 hours, or I don't remember the time, but somewhere around there. Everybody did over a marathon. No one was under. So one person I think did 36 or 38. So that was our first real challenge to kind of push. And now some of those other people have gone on to do 50Ks and 50 milers and 100 milers.
So it kind of pushes you to go beyond what
absolutely.
you think you can do.
Like you just don't know what you can do until you get out there. So.
And so how does it go? So if someone goes to the Facebook page, do people post the runs, or are they set up runs that okay, each week we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, these things?
So Tuesday is the only, Tuesday and Wednesday night we actually both have runs. Wednesday night's just a regular run. It's typically, so there's a different crew that goes on Wednesdays.
Okay.
We kind of made it for some of the slower paced people. They call themselves the turtle runners. So
they gave
themselves their own name, and they have their pace. So Tuesday night tended to be a little bit faster, and then we had Wednesday night was only 3 or 4 miles. So it was a little bit shorter, a little bit different crowd. Now we have both. It seems to have been blended, and we've got both going everywhere. Those are the only 2 definite regular runs. Anything after that, anyone is welcome to post.
So they just post, hey, I'm going to run tonight.
They just post.
Who wants to run with me?
I'm running 5 miles. We actually just do 5 at 5 and a question mark, and everybody knows where it is. Every once in a while, we get a new person that'll say, hey, where is it? But we do a 5 at 5 from Dudley, from Rite Aid in Dudley.
Okay.
Almost every morning there's usually a 5 at 5. At least 3 or 4 out of 5 days there's a 5 at 5.
So 5 a.m.
5 a.m. 5 miles. And it's a nice easy run, loop, and back with, I think there's like 1 or 2 little hills, and it's nice. So depending on who goes, depends on the pace. But again, our rule has always been no one is left behind.
Okay.
Weekends come around, everybody says, I need 12 miles. I want to aim for a 9-minute pace. So certain people will go, all right, I'm going to that run. Then you'll have some of the turtle runners. Hey, I only need 5 miles today. I'm aiming for 10:30 pace or 11-minute pace. Who wants to join me? And we kind of know who's who, at this point too.
So there's different running levels. It's
absolutely.
And no one's
right. No one's left out. I mean, anybody can run. We want. That's the goal, is to find people at your pace to run with. That's why we made the group. So nobody has to run alone. It holds people accountable. It gets them out there more, because you're not going to back out on your friend that you already said, I'm going to join you.
If you say, I'm going to run after work, it's one thing. But if you're going to meet someone, you're much more likely to
right,
keep
absolutely.
that.
You just keep going. And that's really, I think, what has helped push so many people to the next level.
And so let's say you are preparing for something you've never run before, and you're interested in doing a 5K. Do you guys help people, or how does that work in terms of someone's interested in doing a 5K or a half marathon or marathon? How does that work?
So a lot of people will post, hey, I'm training for this. We did a Couch to 5K group actually this spring. I led it, and I had a couple of the other tri-state runners help support that too. Lisa Laquiere was a big help to me. Jen Thayer was, and they would take on, and because we would end up all over the track, we would meet at the track. So each person would kind of get with other people and keep pushing them these are people who didn't run before. So that kind of started some of our new people, and we'll probably do another one in the spring.
Okay.
Again, it's all kind of informal. It's all just us on our own time. There's no group fee. There's no, anything like that. So it makes it nice because you're not coming and spending money or people aren't charging you. It's all a bunch of friends trying to help each other. Based on our knowledge, I mean, the resources out there are just vast, So if somebody wants to do a half marathon or a marathon, people can put a post up, hey, I'm interested in doing this. What plans do you recommend? We do have a couple people in our group that are running coaches.
Good.
I have Jen Miola, who's one of my best friends who moved away. And that's how Jose and I hooked up, because she moved away. But she's up in the Lunenburg area, and she has a group Run for Fun. And she's a certified running coach. So any advice you need, she's reached out. She's been part of our group still for a long time. She comes down and runs with us once in a while. And I'll go up there and run in that group once in a while too, just to change it up. So there's really 3 groups kind of in the whole central area. You got the Run for Fun, CMS version up in the north. So they do a lot of runs in Leominster
Central Mass
area.
Riders. Okay.
Yep, Central Mass Riders. And then there's a Worcester area that you get a lot of people from as well. So, but it's all about the travel and what benefits, what closest. So go wherever works for you, so, and that's really what it's all about. So a lot of our people from our group are members of Central Mass Riders as well. And part of that northern group too.
Can be part of any group.
We have another friend who he goes and visits his girlfriend up in that area, so he goes and runs over there sometimes. So it's nice to kind of shake it up. But Jen is a certified running coach. We have Ramona, who's a certified running coach, Meredith Mosley, who's a certified running coach. So we have people that are very knowledgeable resources.
To prevent injury.
And just experience and talking about cross-training. A lot of people go to November Project. That is a weekly kind of a cross-training group. Very friendly group. They go out and they'll run all the stairs in the stadium, and they just spend 45 minutes running the stairs. Wow. So you're very sore the next day after that. I think I've done it once. Timing doesn't work out for me in my schedule so much, but it works for other people. Or they'll go around downtown and just do different things around the town. They'll go up and down the city plaza stairs or do other things like that. It's cross-training. It's meant to do it something else besides running. So, there's so much out there there's something for everybody.
Yeah. And so those that are wanting to do these longer runs, like a 100-mile run, did you do that with a group from Tri-State Running?
I did it with Jen. I kind of suckered her into it.
Okay.
Because I wanted to do it. Because at the time, I can go long and slow. I wasn't ready for speed. So that was really my goal, was to how far could I go, and the timing just worked out. Had worked with my whole schedule until I ended up having the foot surgery. But it was a lot of planning, because typically people who have goals to either qualify for Boston or do a 50-miler or do a 100-miler, it takes planning. You have to plan out 4 to 6 months of training in order to meet those goals. Correct. It's time consuming.
How many hours did you have to run? Do you go miles per week, hours per week? How do you kind of gauge to prep for that?
To prep for which?
Your 100-mile.
So the 100-mile was just get in as many miles as you can. It wasn't about speed for me. I just wanted to finish it because it was my first one. Okay. So me, it was just getting as much miles in as we could.
So usually shorter runs during the week, longer runs on the weekend? Is that
correct.
What people do?
Yeah. Yep. 5 to 8, maybe 10 during the week and some days, but then it was 20 miles. I think Jen did one 30-mile run before. I think my highest was 20 beforehand. So
it's like doing a marathon preparing for another
Well,
run.
It was funny too, because during the 100 we hit 50, and I'm like, that felt easier than a marathon because you're going so nicely. the ultra world, so anything over a marathon is an ultra.
Yeah.
We call. So the ultra world is so different than marathons and below, because those are so competitive. Race, you don't stop. You go. You're. It's not as relaxing.
Yeah.
You're racing.
Yeah.
When you do an ultra, everybody's kind of just going and doing what they can do, and there's aid stations all along the way, and they're like, what do you need? And they would take our packs off for us, fill our water. We got food. We had one of the aid stations had beer. One of them had shots. Someone had a pig roast.
Oh my goodness.
And we're actually going to go back and do it again.
Which one was it?
So
Which 100
the
miler?
Hennepin 100.
Hennepin 100.
Yep,
Okay.
it's out in Illinois, and it was just amazing. Like, they put on a great race. There was aid stations. Nothing was over 8 miles. So all you had to do was get to the next aid station, get to the next aid station. And it was
like
just
12
fun.
times.
Yeah, what do you need? You want some coffee? Want some soup? They had sandwiches. They had quesadillas at one station. So every aid station made different
run another
things.
8 miles after a quesadilla?
Well, yeah, it got a little tricky there. So lesson learned, I probably ate too much at the beginning, but I definitely want to go back and do better. But
Oh,
yeah, and it
interesting.
rained all night.
Yeah.
So from like 1 a.m. until 5
So you had to
a.m.
run through the rain.
Ran through the rain. We had our gear, and that's when it got quiet, and that was hard. But we did it, because we couldn't hear with our hats on,
Yeah.
because it was just swishing. So, but all of a sudden we hit 80 miles, and we're like, oh, it's
almost there.
20 to go.
Yeah.
It's just 20. And it was like, I can't believe we just said that, like, that there's
Wow.
only 20 to go. And we got like a second win, and we actually went faster than half the race
During the last
during
20.
that last, probably 15 miles, and then I kind of crapped out right at
The last 5 miles.
yeah, I
was
kind of
really
burnt
hard.
out a little bit.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but it was neat. It
Neat.
was really neat.
Neat.
So-
And so, what do you see for the future of Tri-State running? Is it more high tech? Is it more runs? Is it more organized? Or this is what it'll be?
I think this is what we want it to
Okay.
be. I think we just want to get people out there. If you're shy, if you're scared to run, reach out to me, reach out to Jose. Michelle Rivera, Jose's wife, she's been the voice, I call her, because she is the pep talker. So she'll do a post on Mondays. Hey, it's Monday. Everybody, let's get going. This is what we got. We got Tuesday runs. We have Wednesday runs. Tell me something positive. And all month of November, she did kind of like a grateful challenge. So every day she posted something. Tell me what was your favorite race. Tell me what was, what's the worst thing that ever happened to you during a race? And so we all got to laugh and connect and really learn about how other people got started. Post your very first running picture, So that was amazing to see, because we have some people that I think are
30 years, right?
yeah, exactly, that have been doing it for so long, and they go back to high school in their first races, and
Wow.
it's really neat to see how long just someone is experienced,
Yeah.
And I think that's why we love running with different people.
Other people.
I love learning about one person's style and how they train and what works for them, because it's so hard to nail the perfect race, so especially a marathon.
There's different opinions about
Right.
everything.
And
What shoes,
all the
how to
stars,
train.
all the stars have to align. And so everybody keeps trying different things to try to get that, what works for them.
Yeah.
So we're really just about getting people out there, finding someone to run with. If you're scared, or you're nervous to get out there, we have people who do intervals, even that are just starting, doing intervals. We have
So
people.
that's a run walk type of thing?
Yep, like a run walk plan. I've seen people do a whole marathon doing the run walk plan. So, you have people that are coming off of injuries and they need to start over again. So there's always somebody that you can find
Even
to
if
run
you need
with.
resources, right? Oh,
Yep.
I hurt my foot or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Who do you recommend? Or you can ask, what shoes do you recommend? Or, because what do you recommend to eat or not eat? How much to
Right.
drink? All these little questions that people don't know.
Right.
So that's
how to
great.
fuel.
Yeah, how to fuel for these
everybody,
longer runs.
right. Some people like honey stingers, other people like the ragus. Other people want to eat real food during a marathon, you know, so, or a half marathon. How do you get through that? So, so it's really neat to see kind of all of that and catch up with people and bring them in and get them out there. And especially for the winter, we run outside all year round.
All year round. Okay.
All year round. We hardly ever cancel.
Do you know? So, just asking, do you do treadmill running, or is it mostly outdoor running?
I hate treadmill
running. So do I.
But there
I think it's
are,
horrible
yeah,
for
I mean, people will
Injuries
do
happen.
it, right. Injuries happen and you have to go inside, or if it's really crazy cold. I mean, I think I've run, I just did the Millinocket half marathon, and my friend Jen did the full. It was 4 degrees.
Wow.
It was freezing, you know, and that's hard. That's hard to run in. But you're with so many other people, and they had all these fun aid stations. It was free. It was a free marathon and free half marathon. They just wanted to get people up in that area to promote business, and they had a big, huge craft fair, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was an amazing time, and the people that came out and cheered us on were just awesome. You know, so, and you got a big view of Katahdin as you're running down, and it was gorgeous. So, you know, those are the kind of things that, you know, we get out there to do some of these unique things. I've run as usually around 0. You know, once you get into the 5 below, all the guys come back and they post their pictures of their beards freezing, and you know, so that's what pulls us into the treadmill on those kind of days, or the snow. You know, I mean, obviously some years we get a ton of snow around here, other years we don't. So, and if the snowbanks are too high and it's not safe, we try to keep people off the roads.
And that's the nice thing, you can run with someone else.
Yes.
For those that don't want to run alone, you can have a partner to run with.
And our pub run goes on a lot more back roads than main roads. So we try to stay off the main roads. We don't want to be around a bunch of traffic. So we try to find different routes that are a little quieter and a little more safer, so that if we need to run into the road a little bit, we can do that.
Good.
So
good. Yeah. Well, thank you, Joanna. If people want to learn more about Tri-State Running, where would they go?
Yep. Go to the Facebook page, Tri-State Running.
And you'll find it.
Yep, and we'll add. We actually have a separate page too, Tri-State Running races and events that's linked to it, and people post all of the races that are out there. We couldn't do it on the same page because it was just clogging up the feed, and really the goal of the main page is to find people to run with. So we made this separate page so you can scroll through there and see all the local races that have been posted, and anything that's coming up that's free, series, like we've learned about different race series. Rhode Island has a half marathon series. If you do, I think it's 5 or 6 races, all the medals form to make a big medal.
Neat.
So there's kind of neat things like that we find out about.
And it's all listed out there.
It's all on that page. So
good.
Yeah,
it sounds like a good resource for those that are interested in running.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you for watching Healthy Living. You're going to find a few links here I'd like you to click. One is to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Also, you can learn more. There are some videos here you can see.